Computer. Hey, good morning from Israel. This is Mindy Stern speaking, and
good afternoon from Melbourne, Australia. This is Annika speaking. And welcome to our show. And this will be an interesting one.
Oh, why so?
I'm not sure what we're going to talk about, but it's going to go somewhere. I can feel it in my pinky.
Your pinky. That's a great way to feel it. The greatest place to feel it. I'm going to lower this. I was thinking, you were just talking about, how so many messages are coming in and you have no time. You just feel like you're trying to catch up. That's the story. I guess that's the frustration for a lot of us. Yeah, having so many hats and so many things to do. Where do you have the time, and how do you get things done?
Yep. Keep going.
We had I don't know if it was one of our teachers or a book that I read. I think it's probably a book that I read about decluttering. That's it. Because in my process for money, also I talk about a lot of decluttering. And get rid of the things that don't have value for you. I mean, that's from my approach. But the book that I was reading, and for the life of me, I don't remember what the name of it is or what the title was. What the title was. However, they did say the part of clutter is in your mind. When you start things and don't finish them, they actually create clutter in your brain. So it takes you totally out of focus of everything that you need to get done. What Blair would call it, Blair, our mentor, Blair Singer, would call it open loops. When you have too many open loops in your mind, focus becomes eluding. You can't get to focus because there's so many things open that still need to be done. It becomes overwhelming really quickly. I see you got your handy dandy notebook out, Annie.
Well, I'm like, it's for a split moment, I thought, I'm in a webinar. I'm ready. I am so ready. Yeah. The mind, it's just what you just said there. It's like, what an aha moment for me is that I really hate it when I don't finish things. But like when you're in a moment and somebody says something, and especially like when we talk, we talk about any opportunities that comes up or idea or create things that we create. It's to do with our passions, with what we do, our careers, our profession. So it's like, oh, I know that would be really good with what I'm doing. Oh, that's going to be really good. That's going to really be good. So this whole thing with this phenomenon called Corona, right?
You're pissed at Corona, I see.
She's a bitch. I don't know if I can swear. It's my show. It's all right.
Yeah.
It's fine. So the thing is, it's that I just go back to 8 weeks ago, when Blair got us together and he said, okay, so let's support people. We have the tools, we have the skill, let's support people. I was like, yeah, let's do it. Full ball, like a bull. I'd call me and this and that and miracle morning, for 5 weeks straight. So that's 35 miracle mornings and this, and then being in meetings and being in this, and then going, hang on, because I still have responsibilities, right? So I still got to do things and talking to clients and trying to convert, because that you can help these people. It's so busy out there that I just realized that perhaps the focus has not been 100%. Even though you listen to them and you ask questions and all that kind of stuff, but there's other elements to it.
It's really hard to be present when you've got so much stuff going on in your brain.
Yeah, and I moved from, this is my study, and it's a really lovely room, but it's a bit sterile, right? So I moved into my living room where there's lots of wood and the sun is shining through and I see my garden and lovely. Before I knew it, I've got 50,000 piles of papers, of notes. Okay, I got to address that. I've got to address that. I've got to address that, and pieces of paper, pieces of paper. So now I've got a pile like this, right? And then I have actually a bucket. I gotta show you this. So this is the bucket that has been sitting, right, on one of my chairs. And I pulled some of the books out. So there's a couple of books missing from here. But these are the books that I refer to all the time.
Wow.
Right? So when I speak with people, and then I've got my affirmation cards, and then I've got notebooks, and then I have my notebooks with you, two of those. Then I've got highlighters. It's like, so I've got the Miracle Morning, You Can Heal Your Life, Attached, the 5 Love Languages, The Obstacle's the Way, Man's Search for Meaning, When Breath Becomes Air. It's like tapping into wealth. So I've got all this stuff, and these are things that I'm planning to read at some point. Oh, and then I've got the SLM notebook because I was looking for something, and I'm keeping it everything close, right? Next thing, I've got another bucket. Because that bucket is not enough. Overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So I packed myself up yesterday, and I came back in here.
Bravo.
So my desk, there's not much on my desk right now, not much. Everything's on the floor, but I can't see it, and it's okay.
Yeah.
Right? But now I've got all these flip charts because I created flip charts of all the, check this out, right? Flip charts everywhere. And I've got all these flip charts because I want to have a visual of what do I need to do. And so I'm going, okay, too much. It's too much. So how else can I have notes of everything I need to do that I can have a look at? So it's not so overwhelming, because now a room that is supposed to be sterile, now it's full of color.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting.
This very, very same book, gosh, I mean, I remember such things from it, but I don't remember the name of the book, which is so interesting. But one of the things that they said is the one of the worst things that you can do to get rid of the things that are open, those open loops in your head, the to-do list, is to make a list. Because the list itself is overwhelming.
I have lists and lists and lists and to-do lists on my, because I sit in the middle of the night, I wake up and I go, and then I go back to sleep.
They said not to do a list, because the format of the list, the format of the list is it's also overwhelming, which it is, because the list just gets longer and longer and longer and longer and longer. So what they say to do is an interesting technique, which I tried it, but I didn't follow through with it, because I have a notebook. That's what I use, a notebook. I write everything down in the same notebook, except in what I'm learning. But life, things I need to do, things that are happening when I'm talking to somebody on the phone, everything goes onto my notebook. But what they said to do is you take a plain piece of paper that is white, no lines on it. Let's see if I have one here. Plain piece of paper. And not to write a list per se, but to jot down asymmetrically on the paper things that you need to get done. So one piece of paper asymmetrically means, like, I need to call Annie, and I need to finish sales page, and I need to promote webinar.
Oh, so more like all over the place.
Yeah. Okay, so I have all over the place. So it's not a list. And then you start scratching things off. Did that, called Annie. And what you can do is during the day is just highlight with a highlighter the one or two things, like we do in Miracle Morning, the one or two things that day that are perfect. Those things are not, a lot of times what we do with our time is we do things just to do them, you know, with just because in the flow of things and comes up. And a lot of time, what that doing, that activity is avoidance, is procrastination, because we don't want to get something done. A lot. It's not completely, but a lot. So
You know what's interesting? You know how I'm writing that Ignite Love book, right? So yours is being released in 2 days.
Oh, tomorrow, on Saturday. On Saturday.
Hang on.
Today was Friday for a second.
I gave myself, I haven't had a chance to read it yet. Whoa. And I gave myself tomorrow, because I don't have that many bookings, that I actually want to sit down and read the stories, because I'm so curious, right? And but I also have to write my book, and I'm already late. So yesterday, so I had all these different ideas of what I wanted to write, and yesterday I had a call with the editor, and I'm already on a tail end, and so I'm very late with all of this. Honest to God, I was dry reaching. I was so stressed.
Wow.
And as the clock was ticking away, and I found my son had lice.
How so?
I have no idea. Because at this age, they shouldn't have any.
No.
Right? So I can only presume that it was somebody at uni who has younger siblings. They didn't know. I don't know. All I know is that for 2 months they've been festering, because he's been in uni 2 months ago, and since then he's been at home.
And he didn't feel
his father has no hair, so you know.
Oh.
Right? So the other day, in the middle of the night, I'm dead tired going to sleep, and he always likes me to, ever since he was little, for me to play with his hair, and he goes, oh, I love that. So he likes me to massage his head, and I've been massaging his head, and I'm going, you've got so many lumps on your head. What are these lumps? So I took a closer look. Underneath here, oh my God. There's no drugstore that's open at that hour, at midnight.
Oh,
so whatever I could. I got really angry. Poor thing, it's not his fault.
Yeah.
But I was really angry and so tired and all of that. And then the following day, went to the drugstore, got the stuff, put it in, spent hours combing his hair.
Oh my God, I remember the days.
I was so shocked, because at this age, you don't expect it. So I can only presume that it was somebody from school, because he hasn't been with anybody really.
Wow.
Right? So the poor honey, right? So the what I learned, because I got, okay, so he's got the eggs, he had a couple of creepy crawlies, we pulled them out, all that shit, so right? So got that. But why the sores? Because if it's been in there for that long, and some of them were rather bigger, right? They bite.
Yeah.
They bite. So anybody who's a parent here and is watching this, and if your kids have them, you know, if they have sores, that's what it is. They bite. Well, that's what I discovered.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, why would it have that many sores on his head? And also from scratching.
I can't imagine that he didn't notice that he's scratching his head all the time.
And I thought that he was scratching because he hasn't washed his hair for a week.
You probably thought the same thing.
Right, but it's clearly it wasn't. But wow, it's like you just go,
what else?
And then the following day I was like, okay, today I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And then I spent half the day running around getting things organized, doing the hair, doing this thing, you know. Oh my God. So you sit there and you go, am I asking for all this to come into my life?
Because you don't want to write the book. That's why it's coming in.
Well, anyway.
Or it's difficult, anyway.
So then I had to clean the house because I haven't cleaned in weeks. I've been so busy. Too much dust, which I'm allergic.
Yeah.
So Julian and I did some cleaning. And in the end, I sat down and I'm so stressed that I'm thinking, I have to write this book. So I had about 3 different stories that I started.
Yeah.
And nothing was sitting well with me. And then I had this photo on a fridge, right? And I keep looking at this photo and I look mighty fine in this photo. Like mighty fine. Hang on. Let me see if I've got it here. I should have it right up here somewhere. No? Okay. Don't know where it is. I might have thrown it out. But it's a photo of me a couple of years ago and I was in real tip-top shape. Like really. I was working out with Mac, right? And Mac told me once in 2014 when I left the studio after UPDP, I worked out with him 2 more days. So UPDP is Ultimate Personal Development, great program. So if anybody wants to know, let us know.
Wow.
But as I was walking out the door, as I was leaving, and I always work out with Mac the day when I leave. And the way I plan my flights is I work out with Mac, I have a shower, and then from his studio, I go to the airport.
Ah, nice.
Every single year is the same thing. But that was the second year that I was in his presence. And I had a good chat with him. And then he said, all right, so now he goes, you're going to call your taxi. So I called my old cab. So I called the cab and the cab arrived and he said, so I'm not going to say another word to you now, Annie, other than these 3 words. And with this, so let's say goodbye now. I'm going to tell you these 3 words and you're going to walk out that door and you're going to do with them whatever you want. Okay? So anyway, hug, bye-bye, this and that. Got my suitcase. I said, I'm ready. He goes, all right. He goes, commitment to completion. And I just looked at him and he goes, didn't say another word. So I got in a taxi and I went, yep, I got to get healthy and I got to get my certification and I got to do whatever it takes. So that year I lost 20 kilos.
Wow. Talk about commitment.
I've gone from 81 kilos to 61.
Wow, Annie, that's amazing.
But it was this, and I tell you, I have not had that since. It was this knowing, those 3 words. So I had this picture on the wall with me and I look, oh my God, I look so good. And I put commitment to completion on it. And then I put on a fridge and I said, let me inspire myself. It's not inspiring me because I look at it and I go, I wish I looked like that now.
Yeah.
So I decided to take it off. I need to find another way to get inspired. And I think, with menopause and all the stuff that's happening, my life is different. It's 5 years on.
Yeah.
So 6 years on now.
Wow.
So different life, different body, different health. But I go, okay, I need to find my own path now to health, to whatever that is, right? So, and as I ripped it off and I'm looking at it, and I asked my son, I said, do you think I should take it off? He goes, yeah, take it off. Really? He goes, yeah. And then I go, okay. All right. And then I'm sitting here writing my book and I looked and I remembered the words commitment to completion. And I wrote a whole new story in 1 hour.
Really? Wow.
And I read it with Alex, the editor. She goes, this is so good.
Really?
She goes, this is so good. So I have a call tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock with the next editor. And I have all this other stuff I have to write. And I don't know where I'm going to do it because after this, we have a meeting. And after this, we have another meeting. I have to go to a Chinese doctor. And then after that, we have the women leading into the future meeting. That will finish at 9:30. And by then, I'll be completely exhausted.
Wow.
So I don't know where I'm going to write this. So this is the thing that it's challenging. The overwhelm comes from these amazing opportunities that are coming our way.
Yeah.
So it's almost like this corona is a blessing, but with that comes all the other stuff that I have to figure out.
Yeah.
I got to figure out what is the best way. So I've got to make a choice for myself. So I don't know, because I really don't know how you, because now I want you to share what's going on for you, because you got your fingers in so many pies yourself. And I know that you've got a diary, but still, there's still so much going on. How do you cope? How do you choose how you're going to work on it and still have a life? Because I have a life.
That is a great question. I can tell you, Annie, I don't always have a life, because I really love what I do, and I commit myself to a lot of different projects which are really important to me, really, really important to me. So I am committed to getting them done. So I work a lot of hours. But I can say that I do work a lot of hours. When I'm working, I'm working. I really am very, very focused. I had another teacher. I mean, so many teachers. We learn from so many people. Oh, it's really great, because I'm always learning and developing, because every time you get a problem, first of all, I have to say that color on you is beautiful. Beautiful. You should wear fuchsia. Is it fuchsia, right?
Yeah, it's so
You should
cute.
wear fuchsia more often, because it really, really makes you pop.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So having said that, I worked for many years now with a guy named Dan Kennedy. Not with him directly, because he is like the guru of gurus for direct marketing, world guru. I mean, an hour with him, or a day with him, is about $100,000, and he doesn't work on an hourly basis. You can only get him for a day. He comes from the world of copywriting. And well, that's what he does today, copywriting, but he is a business genius, and marketing is his thing. And what I teach you in marketing is basically coming from him, how to get people to come to you instead of you always searching out the next client. It's called direct marketing. Anyway, he has a program called the Renegade Millionaire. Yeah. Oh, the notebook fell out. Can you see this?
Yep.
Yeah. Renegade Millionaire, Time and Productivity Strategies by Dan Kennedy. Actually, that's up our line of what we're talking about today. So the basic concept here is, if you want to be a millionaire, not only do you have to market, but you have to manage your time and productivity. Now, this guy, I must tell you, he is so focused. He is just so focused. You can't get to him. And from him, I learned a lot. For one, I don't look at my emails. I don't look at my WhatsApps. I don't look at Facebook. It's the only time actually I go into Facebook is when I need to post something, when I need to do something there, and not, I never, ever, not because I don't want to. It's interesting stuff and I want to, but I don't have the time for it. And it's something that I get caught up in very easily, Emails also. I look at my emails 2 times a day. I even have a message coming out of my emails, not in English, but in Hebrew for my business, that says it could take us up to 48 hours to answer you because we are busy doing other things. So everyone, you send me an email, that's what they get back. And I try to stay, from what I learned from him, I try to stay very focused. He's relentless with his time. If it's not something that is giving him value, like real value, he's not doing it. He will not do it. And some of that things I try to incorporate in my life as much as I can. I am less busy taking care of my house than a lot of people. Not that my house is messy, my house is neat, but it's not up there on my priority of things to do, although I keep my house is clean, but it's not, I don't really stop to do it. I would rather work on my projects than mop the floor, although my garden is pretty. pretty good also. And things like that. I don't call people, and for a social person, that could be, very interesting. How do you not communicate with your friends and just chit chat when you're talking to somebody? But you put times in there for friends and chit chat, and you schedule it. And then I have off time. I do not work Friday afternoon till Sunday morning. I mean, I don't work, and I generally don't even look at my. I don't look at my telephone. I definitely don't look at emails. Mostly don't look at WhatsApp. I mean, WhatsApp is my main form of communication. I don't think that I look at SMSs, text messages at all, because all my friends and business associates would contact me on WhatsApp. So I know that anything I get in a text message is spam. Someone's promoting something to me, so I don't look at it at all. I'm not interested. My mom says it's like burying your head in the sand. You're so buried in the sand, but it's not that I'm buried in the sand. It's just that I really need to stay focused. I don't watch the news ever, unless some sort of tragedy happens. I mean, you also don't watch the news, but that's a strategy. That's a strategy. And you have to be relentless if you want to be a renegade millionaire.
I had somebody sent me a text the other day and said, hey, because they know I love Prince, and they having a Prince tribute on Channel 9. Now my TV is not, what do you call it when you, I don't even know the word, you see? Tuned. I don't even have the channels tuned on the television. If I watch a movie, I connect my computer to the TV and I watch Netflix. And I have this thing called the AC Ryan that has 1,500 movies on it. So if I want to chill, then I get onto one of those. But I don't watch the news. So here I am watching the Prince tribute. And there's all these commercials and I'm like, oh, get on with it, man. I haven't seen commercials in a long time, right? And the next thing is so I'm having a bath. So I was really down and out, and I spoke to our friend David. He goes, go run a bath. They said, Julian, come here. So him and his wife Bridget said, Julian, and they gave him instructions. I wasn't in a good place. So Julian went and ran the water and all of that. So I hopped in and I watched the Prince tribute from the bathtub.
Oh, how nice.
But then the tribute finished and I'm actually washing my hair, and so I'm wet, so I can't get out. I don't want to get out, touch the computer. So the news are going in the background, right? Oh, doom and gloom. And I'm just like, yeah, that's why I'm not watching it. And there was nothing new about the coronavirus that they said on the news that I don't know from all the text and the everything else that comes through Facebook and this, that, and the other. So I think if I need to know something, people will let me know.
People will let you know. You know. The news is big clutter, huge clutter, because most of the stuff is not actual. We cannot do anything with that information. A lot of times it's just scary. And it causes clutter. If we started off the conversation talking about, clutter in your mind, open loops that stop you from doing things, the news is like number one, because you can't do anything about it. It does not help you in any way, shape, or form. It's a basic curiosity, an intrigue, and a lot of it today, especially, is fake news. You don't even know if it's true or not true. I'd like to stay in my little bubble and in within the things that I control, make the best life possible for me and my family and my people, my tribe, you guys, the people that work with me. Stay very focused. All of that stuff doesn't matter. If we stay focused on us and what we can control, even in times of crisis like Corona, everybody thrives. Everybody thrives. Narrow your focus, not expand it. And that's also good for, for getting things done. And that's what I learned from Dan Kennedy. Narrow your focus. There are not, all these things do not really contribute to your life in the same way. When you have this big to-do list, find the things that have the biggest impact that you can control, and that also bring you value, and just focus on them. And then you have to learn how to say, unfortunately, you have to learn how to say no to things that are less important.
Tell you what, today I was on a 2.5 hour webinar.
Wow, what'd you learn?
Well, it was about this guy has won the Sales Closer Championship, World Championship.
Wow.
There were 650 participants, I think, out of 150 countries, and he's won it.
Wow. Wow.
So
wow.
he's a how you call it, a Sikh.
Ah, yeah, okay. The turban.
But he lives in Sydney. Oh, so lovely. So lovely. And I'm part of this women's group that I think I invited you into, Wild Mamas Entrepreneurs or something like that. It's a group that I'm part of. But the woman who's running this group, she's really on it, and she gives so much value. And she's got another one called Career Queens with a Z,
nice.
right? And she's a copywriter, and she's a copywriter. Oh yeah, no, I spoke to her before about it, but she's so flat chat she couldn't help us out. Yeah. So yeah. Because I go, hang on, I know a copywriter, but no. So, and she's friends with this guy, and he decided he's going to do a webinar for free for us. And he went through and he talked about, like sales strategies, and what are the and he spoke to coaches. This was all about coaches, right? So majority of people in this group are some type of coach, type, right? And he was just giving us a list of all the things that we're doing wrong.
Ooh, wow.
And I went, ding, ding, ding. Cool. Okay. So he ascertained, like I could see what are the challenges, So when we make a call with somebody, it's we because we want to help, and we're so into helping, and they ask questions, so we help, but then they hang up and they go, and you go, why aren't they working with us, right? Because we gave them value. Well, we gave them answers. We gave them the answers. The only thing is that they actually really don't know how to use those answers.
That's so true.
They think they know, right? It's like I spoke to this couple, and they weren't in a good place. And then I don't know what I said to them. And then next I followed them up to see whether they're going to do work with me. And they said, oh, we good. We went on a date and everything's really great. And I thought, okay.
Yeah.
And then they won't call, I can't get through to them. And I just left it and said, okay, well, clearly we're not a good fit.
Yeah.
Or something, right? But he had like a couple of formulas and a couple of processes, and I just went. And then at the end, he offered a 45-minute call worth $500. Man, I got on it.
Fantastic.
I got on it, and the way he was marketing it, it was with the way they were marketing it. Like Dee sort of said, okay, you guys know that he's gonna come on. First she said, I'm not gonna tell you his name. So each day she gave a little, and I said, come on, can you just give us his name? You've got to wait. So she built it up really, really well, right? And then after that, she said, okay, so if you have a question, a challenge that you have in your business, tell us, and then he will give you the answers. Oh my God, the answers were unreal.
Really?
So I sort of said, like when people say you're too expensive, and then he the way he answered it was unreal. And then somebody said that can't get hold of the decision maker, and the company doesn't have the budget for that right now. And he said all companies have a budget.
Sure.
Right. So it's just the way he was overcoming the objections, and I went. So this is a strategy call and he's got all these questions. So when I put in the date, which is tomorrow.
One
Talking to him at 2
more
o'clock.
thing you have to do.
Yeah, but this is one of those key things that has to do with my business, with certain things that, because I know what I know. I'm a great coach, I'm a great teacher, you know, and all that kind of stuff. But when it comes to running a business, it's got a few different arms. It's not just the teaching part. So my challenge as a business owner is, how do I set up my system? Because I don't have a team at the moment, right? So I have to do everything myself. Well, actually, Julian is on my team, so he's helping. But slowly meeting all these different people that could be on my team, and that doesn't necessarily mean they work for me, but I work with them, you know, like the accountant and the lawyer and this, that, and the other, right? So I can see all these different things that you got to have set up for your business. And then he said something, he goes, because somebody asked the question, when you finish the call, it's a lot of businesses suffer from the follow-up. They don't follow up.
Right.
And then he talked about that too, because you got to have a system for the follow-up too. You got to have this, you got to have that. And I went, oh my God, another system. And then, and the query. So when I booked him in, he had 4 questions.
Of course. Sound familiar?
Yeah. Yes. Anyway, I'll talk to you after in our session, right? But it was a really good, I really liked it. And his models, and he explained them, and I went, I really like this. And it's simple, and it's stuff that we know, but then just another person explained it to you in a way. And he was just saying, and the reason I'm sharing is this, because you were talking about the coronavirus, right? And business during these times. And he just closed a deal, 2 deals that together came to $200,000.
Nice.
So it's like, okay. But he said it's how you ask the questions, and he said this thing which I really liked. And even though, you know, when you you kind of know, but then somebody says it to you and you go, wow. So the question is how to demand the price you are actually worth, right? And he said, people pay what they feel people pay what they feel you are worth.
Your perceived value.
Ooh. So your value is, the formula is your value equals what you do plus what others feel what you do. And I was like, yeah. So, and then he was talking about 4 different types of people and how to talk with them, and how to, in the application form. So I'm going to share this with you later, but it was actually a very good, I'm really glad that I went on it.
Nice.
And I look forward to talking to him, because this is all adding to my business. I know it's another thing, but this is a thing. You open up the window to abundance on the first day of lockdown, and 8 weeks later, abundance came to you. But what happened is that I didn't put a limit to the abundance. So there's all this stuff coming, and all these opportunities and things you're setting up and all of that. But then you still have to have the time to do it, and not work on a Sunday. Actually have a day off.
Yeah.
I don't have a day off. So so I want to be careful now to not start to fall into the what's the word? See, I don't even know the word. Since you taught me, I don't even use the word. Since you taught me about abundance, lack.
Yeah, scarcity, lack.
Yeah, that's the word. Scarcity and place of limitations. So I do want to stay in satisfaction and appreciation for what's coming my way. It's just I need to find a way how to deal with all of that.
Yeah. Also, you mentioned something here in between your words that was really important, is team. You know, I also, without my team in healthy finances, I would not be able to be involved in so many other things, because I have at least one section, you know, covered.
Yeah.
So, with other people doing it. So team is really important. That's one of the books I was showing people yesterday. Got to get it also. You show your books, I show mine.
Which one?
More important than money, an entrepreneur's team.
I actually have the book. I don't have the time to read it.
Yeah, but it's the idea. I also put your hand on it. Who said it? I saw a Mind Valley commercial on something.
Mm-hmm.
They said if you put your hand on the book and absorb the intention, absorb the intention. So I'm putting my hand on the book. I'm absorbing the intention until I can read it.
Well, the one I'm reading now is the 5 Love Languages, and I can tell you, like I'm listening to it and reading it,
Yeah.
right? And because when you listen to it, it's about 4.5 hours and you're done, right? The way he reads it, I'm done with it. I'm gonna listen to it again. It's that good.
Wow, that's amazing.
It's you understand things about relationships at such a different level. It is amazing.
Let's
right?
talk about that next week in our next call.
Sorry?
Let's talk about that next week in the Annie and Mindy show.
Oh, about the love languages?
Yeah.
Okay.
Really
and he wrote one for teenagers. And I told you on Monday, I did the miracle morning for parents and children, teenagers on Sunday. And I've had people calling me saying, that was so good.
Wow, amazing.
And they love seeing my son on. So it's really interesting. Every time my son is on, we get a lot of views.
That is nice. That's an idea in and of itself. That's a business in and of itself.
Yeah, it sure is. And we talked about that with my son, but I don't think he's in his own world right now.
Yeah. I've asked my daughter also to do things that I think would be great, and she's just not interested.
Yeah. Oh, well. All right. I think we're done for today.
We are. So it was a great call. Thank you. How are you feeling?
No, I feel good. I'm glad we talked about it. Like, I feel it's really interesting. I got up this morning in a not good mood. I was so down, so sad, so depressed. And I kept on thinking, it's the bloody lies, but it wasn't. And then I said to Julian, we've been fighting a lot. And I go, well, I don't know what's going on, because I don't fight with Julian, really. And I was feeling, but then I had a call every Thursday I have a call with a friend of mine.
Yeah.
So we try to do some work together. But today she did a process on me. Have you ever heard of Psych K?
Yeah, actually. I mean, I hadn't heard it before I started meeting with probably your very friend, the same friend.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Of course. So I had a call with her, and for 2.5 hours, she took me through some stuff. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So she released a lot of stuff inside of me.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
A lot. And I think because I'm open, I got there quick, because I kind of understand the concept. But when I had to do it, it was like, woo. And she got to something very powerful.
Really?
Trust.
Really?
Trust, acceptance, and forgiveness.
Well, forgiveness is your thing in any event.
Yeah, and acceptance. But wow. She asked me some questions, and I went, oh. So we dealt with that. And when you physically react to when you go from your mind into your actual being, because we are a lot in here. She's the one who told me I'm very process driven. You got to have a process. And I was like, no, yeah, I do. And since she told me, I'm so aware that give me a process that I know makes sense, I'll go do it.
Yeah.
But if I have to discover something, right, the fear kicks in because of the unknown, right? So today she made me, but she guided me to connect to the inside.
Yeah.
Because I can say, yeah, I accept myself. Really? But then I go and I whine about, I don't like my bum, I don't like, all that.
Yeah.
So today she made me sit there and go there.
Wow.
And accept myself at a cellular level. Woo! And
Wow. Wow.
the physical reaction, I said, oh, what's happening to me? It
Wow.
was unbelievable.
Wow. I've got to try
So
it. She's been offering also to do a process, and I should.
sorry?
She's been offering also. She's been telling me that I need to try, see what it's about, because we talk about it all
Take,
the time.
take her up on it, man. It is very different.
Yeah.
You know, we are used to a particular type of processing. This is rather different.
Yeah. Wow. Wow.
Yeah. So do it. All right. This is bye from Annie Callis from Melbourne, Australia.
And Mindy Stern from Tel Aviv, Israel. Bye, guys. Have
See
a
you
great
next
weekend.
week.
Love you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Oh, I just saw the recording.